Singularity takes place on Katorga 12, and it's a Russian military facility, secret, of course, and it contains a range from fragile villages and wildlife, natural locations, all the way to, of course, scientific facilities and bunkerized industrial locations. We're ambitiously pursuing lighting in Singularity, and focusing on it being highly saccharine or saturated, so that when the player is in the contemporary near future era, the lighting is typically quite contrasty in its colors, bright greens, red, oranges, blues, and that helps us distinguish the current era from the 50s. We have a set of characters that, of course, are from the contemporary era, our hero being Renko, who's a high-altitude spy plane pilot, and he comes with his high-altitude gear. He's, of course, rough and ready for combat action, having that equipment when he lands, and he takes his high-altitude flight suit with him through the game. He encounters other contemporary or near-future enemies, such as the Spetsnaz, which have contemporary or near-future equipment, some classically contemporary, based on current generation military designs, and others who are more advanced. One of our core creatures is the Zek, which is a human that's been transformed essentially through time and energy, and this distortion has typically happened to the contemporary era elite Spetsnaz. So those enemies are transformed and fairly horrific. Then we also have otherworldly or other dimensional characters, such as the phase tick, that the genesis of them isn't really known. The origins aren't clear, and it's not so much about where they're from as when they're from, and we're taking advantage of that fact so that we can play with evolution, we can play with outright quasi-alien appearances, and there's essentially no holds barred when it comes to the creature design for Singularity. Also, we have some characters, and the player has some control over enemies, so that he is able to revert them in some cases or push them into the future. And when they're pushed back into the past, they look a certain horrific way, such as our placental revert, or they're essentially immolated when they're pushed into the future.